Really hope the rumble of my engine noise doesn't come out, because I can't have this light on without the engine on, because my battery's going out. So if I have the auxiliary on, then my car will die and I will be stranded in this parking lot, which I do not need, because I will be living out of this vehicle pretty soon and recording every video henceforth out of this car. That means TikToks, Instagram, Shorts, YouTube, everything. I'm actually going to go to a video that popped right up on my For You or Discover or Explore or Navigate or whatever you want to call it, whatever synonym you want to use that YouTube uses to force feed you things that I absolutely do want to see. I'm okay with being sold stuff. I'm okay with you like telling me what to view, what to digest. I'm super okay with you targeting me with ads, as long as it's something that I want. As long as it's something that I want to buy, I want to see, I want to consume. Like, I have no problem. I will watch it. I will buy it. I will subscribe to it, whatever, as long as it is something, as long as the algorithm, you algorithm are giving me exactly right up Main Street what I want. And what I wanted was something I didn't even know I wanted. Dakota Stone on his YouTube channel has posted a video, why I left Fitment Industries. The thing about Fitment Industries, I have seen their progression over time, how they've mastered the algorithm of what it means to really be a car YouTuber at this time. You need to have not only a channel, but you need to have a progressive outlook on diverse content. And what that means is, like, for example, with them, they have several videos about how to do fitment for your vehicle, like what fitment fits what, how to look at fitment for a vehicle, for width, offset, even tire fitting. That's their whole market. That's their whole business. That is what their website is all about. It's Fitment Industries, fitting wheels, and then they progressed into other car content. What I'm realizing, and what they did that is really important, especially if you're trying to make your way into a space, if you're not going to be a car reviewer, if you're not going to be like a Doug DeMayo, God, Jesus help us, or like a Redline Reviews or a Forest Auto Reviews or a Radies Rides, if you're not going to be that lane, if you're not going to go into that avenue of car content, then what you want to do is do series like what they did. So you want to buy a blank, you want to buy a this, which is totally nothing like Up to Speed with Donut Media.
It's everything you need to know to get up to speed on the Nissan Z.
I mean, what do I know? I am not a large, creative, successful person in any writer form, so what can I say? But that's their merit, that's their claim to fame. I enjoy their content. There's things that I enjoy. I really want to know, like, just like for any of these people, whether it's somebody who falls out with Hoonigans, or somebody who falls out with maybe a friend of that dude in blue, or other content creators you see growing up. If you've been in the car space for a decent amount of time, you would know Fresh Kicks and the different people who have had falling outs with him, or the people that he's had falling outs with because of content creation or because of manufactured drama over the internet. So what I really wanted to see is, like, is this another manufactured drama to drive up maybe traffic to this guy's particular channel, to Dakota Fanning's channel? I'm not going to watch the entire video. I will be watching snippets of it, or be intercutting snippets of it, because it is a 13-minute long video and I do not want to sit in this parking lot for a half hour. And again, this is just a trial run for when soon I will be living out of this vehicle. Let's get it started. Why I left Fitment Industries, Dakota Stone.
All right. So, anytime.
All right, we're in the car. We buckled the seatbelt. Let's go.
I've been down in the dumps, or had a bad day, or just not feeling right.
Did not turn off the Bluetooth on the phone so that the radio would not go off. Great start. Not that my videos start off any better. You don't realize how many I cut out and still make it into the video.
I have always just went for a drive. I've always hopped in my car and just drove. No destination. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. But
hashtag can relate. When I I don't always get to go for a drive, but when I'm feeling down, you know, there's something I'm constantly thinking about. I'm just like, I just want to get in my car. And it's not that I want to leave. It's not that I want to leave the situation. It's not that I want to like exit, quit, be gone, disappear. But sometimes, you know, some people have smoking cigars, some people have drinking, some people have sports, or, you know, whatever the case may be, to check out mentally for a bit, just to give their brain a rest if they can't, you know, go to sleep, or if they're like, well, it's not night, you know, I'm not going to go to bed, so it's not time to go to bed, but I really want to just do something that I don't need to involve my mental capacity in, and it is definitely going for a drive for me. And it doesn't need to be a fast car, it doesn't need to be an entertaining car. Just your car, and just a wide open road and a full tank of gas. And honestly, you could do a lot of things in that time. I've reworked the entire framework of where I want my content creation career to go to by just going for a drive. Today, in fact, I thought of a lot of content videos, a lot of creative ideas, just by being in my car, being alone, and just driving, because there's just nothing else like it.
Let me turn this light off here. What I wanted to talk about today is leaving fitment. My life's going to change a lot now. I've been with fitment for almost 4 years, and it was the best 4 years of my life.
He's been with fitment for 4 years. That's a pretty big change to be making. What I'm guessing early on is that it either has to do with his lifestyle changing, maybe a change in his family structure, his family dynamic, maybe getting married, maybe getting out of a relationship, maybe child, you know, God knows what. But that's what I would think. For me, if I've invested 4 years in a company, in a venture, in something creative, there has to be either a drastic reason or something better on the horizon that has pulled me out of that, or something that's family related that's going to take me out of the commitment that I had. Because obviously he had a commitment, and his initial translation of that commitment isn't, and I couldn't wait to get out. Like, I've been in 4 years and I've finally been able to make a career change. No, it was the best years of my life. Let's find out.
I was the creative marketing lead. I started as a videographer. I was known for my photography in the Wisconsin area. I did photos for a while, and with that I shot car shows for Alex Martinez. You might know him. And through that, he reached out to me and asked if I wanted to work at fitment. Of course I did. Came and interviewed, started. Anyways, I guess we'll skip past that, but it was truly my dream job. Sorry.
So I skipped ahead a little bit only because, I mean, I get this too. I get maybe emotional for him to talk about, but I also get this way when I'm shooting. You know, sometimes I really have it set, even if I have a script, even if I have something that's based to go off of, I still need time to like kind of just throw myself back into the mix. You know, it's hard. This is new to me. It's new, having this level of arrogance and thinking that anyone wants to hear anything I have to say, but trying to persevere through that. And maybe even with him, maybe that's something he's feeling. Why would anyone want to hear my experience of why I'm leaving fitment, why I've left fitment? I don't know if that's his experience, but if it is, I can completely understand. And I know why, like, you know, maybe get choked up, or maybe just have the idea of like, wait, why am I even doing this video halfway through? But I mean, it's 13 minutes long. We're only at like 3 minutes in, so I'm glad he perseveres.
Why I left. It's tough. I'm not sure if I outgrew fitment or if fitment outgrew me, but it just no longer was the same for me there anymore as when I started.
Okay, so I get that. I get there being a paradigm shift, or maybe a shift in the direction of the company, but I understand that in this creative platform, he was first signed on as a videographer. He was first signed on as a creative lead, as somebody who comes in and leads based off of what it means to him for things to be of value, for photos, videos to be good. Prior to this, I have done a lot of work as a social media manager, as a content creator for other people, for businesses. And I could tell you something is that it is so easy to, no matter how much you're committed to a project, no matter how good you are or mediocre you are or even bad you are, all it takes is somebody either being on board with the exact way that you want, that you're doing it, that your vision, you see it, or somebody completely tethered to their vision and their creativity or how they want to pursue, how they want to move forward, to completely break down a relationship or to completely break down even your ability to work for media for those people. And that's not necessarily a problem. You have to go your separate ways. You have to go your separate ways. But if that is the case, if we find out that that is the case, then I definitely will say that I understand that. And I get that because especially working with businesses, we're working a myriad of different businesses. It's easy. It's so easy to bring your style and your creativity and for it just to completely not mesh with their ability to comprehend that it's like, hey, this may not be your cup of tea, or this may not be the direction that you always imagined that it'd be in, but my work speaks for itself. Or like the abilities that I have will translate. Give it time, allow us to work, allow us to do what we got to do. And maybe after a while, even though maybe it did work, maybe it didn't, maybe it is just the fact of that style's not really what we're looking for anymore.
A lot has changed, and by no means in this video am I like trying to down talk fitment or downplay it or anything like that.
So I like that. I like that he is just being honest. He's being upfront. He's not like leaving anything up to interpretation, which unfortunately a lot of YouTubers, a lot of content creators do, just for the clout, just for the name of it. And I don't believe that this man is negative or positive. He's just painting the picture of what he experienced and what he goes through. So if I talk about a car, if I talk about a creator, if I talk about a commentary in a video, it's because it's just the way that I feel, or it's the jokes that I feel like telling. And they're not indicative of prejudice or of judgment on somebody else. Just like how his comments and maybe his experience or maybe his dislike of the new direction of fitment industries, and he could dislike it, but it doesn't discredit the validity of, the company. You can have a differing opinion. You could have a negative outlook on something and it not downplay, or even have just a joke that isn't received or an opinion that isn't received by the general populace on a subject. You could have that opinion and have that joke, have that mentality about something, and it not take away from the validity of a product, of a company, of a business, of a practice. And it could not take away from it because it's just a different viewpoint on the subject. And if it's a completely negative viewpoint, then if none of it's true, then hey, okay, you know what? Then, hey, buddy, none of it's true. So, sorry you feel that way. Hope you can, feel some way different. I'd be more than happy for somebody to change my mind, or more than happy for somebody to come and show me a better way to tell something.
But it just wasn't a good fit for me anymore. I think I wasn't, it's hard to say. I wasn't really able to be as genuine as I used to be. I think things got a lot more business related. But when I felt like I couldn't be genuine in all of the content, I just didn't feel good about making it, and I wasn't enjoying it, and I wasn't looking forward to going in every day like I was for the last few years. And maybe it's because I was so spoiled by what it was when it started, and I'm gonna miss it so much, and I'm gonna miss the people.
A couple things there, because I really like that little portion. You have to be true to yourself as a content creator. You have to be true to yourself as a media creator. And if that means having a controversial opinion, or if that means, not that he's saying have a controversial opinion, but if that means having a difference of vision, a difference of idea for yourself as a producer of content, as a producer of creativity, or as somebody who's just wants the genuinity of their character to translate through their art, then you have to be true to yourself to understand that if somebody's going in a completely different direction than you, then you might have to continue going straight on in your direction. And I think that that's not always true all the time. Of course, like sometimes like maybe like, hey, you know what? This is a really still good place, and I still believe in the vision. I still believe in the mission. So why don't I try to adapt, even though they're going in a different direction, why don't I try to adapt my skills and my vision and how I see it going down to the new venture, to the new way. And if you can do it, and if you're just like, and if you're comfortable growing and making that change, cool. If not, there's nothing wrong with it. I like concerned that maybe he has like a little bit of guilt, like a little bit of survivor's guilt on the idea of separating from fitment and deciding to pursue artistic integrity instead of pursuing, kind of like clout and the availability of internet success. With other producers of content, other especially car culture influencers, which is like kind of my main bread and butter of what I really want to touch on, is that they don't really stay the same because they can't. Because we're this space, even though the cars pretty much stay the same year after year, it's a new 2023 or it's a 2024, it's the same crap. It's the same freaking cars. And you could have the 400Z that came out, or the Z, new Z, whatever it is. It's the same freaking car. It's a new V6 or whatever it is. It's the same freaking car. Everyone's gonna put BC coilovers on it. They're gonna put TEs on it, or Fresh Kicks is gonna paint it purple and then put a twin turbo HR engine in it. It's the same crap year over year. But what's vitally important, leave other car creatives in the comments and in the viewership can identify with, is that yes, it is maybe the same product rehashed, like the Toyota GT86 or the GR86 or Scion FRS. It is the same product regurgitated, but it's not about what the product they produce. It's about what we produce with the product. It's about what Ken Block does with the product. It's about, you know, what the Hoonigans do with the product. It's about what Ryan Turek does with the product. It's about what you, the viewer, does with the product. What you do with your Honda Civic. What you do with your 350Z. What you do with your Ford Maverick Hybrid when you slam it to the ground, put it on some rotiforms and put a snap top cover all over the back with a crap ton of anime stickers on it. It's about what you do. This guy, it's about what he wanted to do. And if it's Fitment Industries, he didn't want to do it with Fitment Industries. I hope, Dakota, I hope you don't feel ashamed about making that separation, because artistic integrity is key nowadays, because we don't have any other way of identifying ourselves. Way of making a career, way of making a name for ourselves, it doesn't have any tangibility like a degree. It doesn't have tangibility like a law practice or a medical practice, where you have the results of our labor, plain and simple, because somebody has a new heart. The only results of our labor is that somebody smiled. The only results of our labor is that somebody said nice, like after that burnout or after that video of, oh, like that's what I could do with my coilovers. That's what I could do with my wheels and suspension. Oh, that's what I could, you know, do with my used 1995 DC5. Like that's what I can do. And I really, really am just a proprietor of, if you're going in a different direction, or if that direction is changing, or God forbid, Dakota, maybe it was going too fast for him. You know, not to be any negative on him, but maybe it was going too fast for him. Maybe they were progressing in a way that he's just like, you know what? You guys are just following the trends. You're just doing whatever TikTok tells you to do. You're doing whatever the YouTube algorithm tells you to do. You want to only do your own thing? Be moist critical. Do your own thing. You know, but if you want to follow the trend of the algorithm and that's just not jamming for you because it doesn't speak to your truth, as an artist, as a videographer, hey, then more power to you.
There's still really good people there that make really good content. I want to make my own content. I want to have my own channel. I really enjoy it, and I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to stay in the car scene. I mean, I love cars. I absolutely love cars, and I'll always love cars. And I'm so thankful for what cars and you guys watching have done for me. One of the hardest decisions I ever made to step away, and it was literally today, a few hours ago.
Dakota better stop. He's gonna make me cry. Also, what is he shooting with onto the A-pillar of his car? Because I'm shooting with my iPhone right now, and it's not gonna look like this, as clear as his. I ordered my Type R that had no exhaust whatsoever, and I had my GoPro pointed at me from the side with no microphone. You could barely hear me. Like, I had to scream like how I'm screaming right now.
You guys are probably like, what the hell? Like, I would do anything to have a job where I got to go make videos and talk about cars. And
so I forgot about earlier, but I wanted to, because he talked about that in every sense of the word, that Fitment was his dream job. And what he was talking about earlier was that, you know, who wouldn't want to work there? Like, oh, I'd give my right leg. He was talking about, you know, oh, like, you know, I would kill for an opportunity to just make car videos and do car stuff all day. What's really in between the lines of a lot of these creators? What is the struggle that they're actually facing when they're creating content? And what I realize is that there's a lot of places that I see myself being. There's I have a dream wish list. I'm gonna do another video on it, like a dream wish list on all the shows I would love to be on, YouTube shows or, you know, whatever. It's not like Jimmy Fallon or anything like that. Like, it'd actually just be like YouTube creators with like 70,000 followers or something, or like a band that I love that was only popular in the 90s and now they're just doing reunion tours. Like, they're looking at him like, dude, what are you, crazy? Like, I'd love to work for Donut Media. I'd love to work with Hoonigans. I'd love to work for just a brand in general. I'd love to work for like Subaru. I love my WRX. I'd love to work for Toyota, to work for Honda. I'd love to work for Fitment Industries. You know, but it's not all glitz and glamour all the time. And you also have to realize the human side of it. You have to realize that it's like, to put out a video every day of the week, how grueling a process that is. I have a hard enough time putting out a video every 2 weeks. And that might just be because of my personal schedule or because my personal schedule keeps changing. But, you know, it's still difficult. So yeah, it might be your dream job, but it might not be your dream work environment. My dream job or dream like promotion kind of thing would be to like run a racing team or a racing channel for Ghost. For Ghost Lifestyle. Love to put a Ghost livery over a track car and just make that a whole channel, make that a whole thing, but at this point in time, that's not a thing. But I know how much work that would be. Not only number one, to get the sponsorship, number two, to keep it, number three, to produce the content, and number four, I'd have to have a whole team. Just like at Fitment Industries, you only see one or two people on the screen, or you're just thinking like, well, there's just one camera and then there's a guy editing. But like, what we really don't understand is that there is a whole developed team and business and company behind the structure of that content creation. So again, it may be your dream job, but it might not be your dream work environment, you know, or it might not be the dream people you want to work with. Like, you love making the content in the video. It's fun. It's super fun ride. But then after the fact, when you present, maybe it was even the fact of that Dakota presented his ideas. He presented where he saw the business going. He presented what he really loved about car content creation. And maybe he was, you know, put to the side. Maybe he was saying, you know, that's not our vision. That's not our direction. And that's not what's getting views. You know, I'm not saying that that's Fitment's viewpoint on the matter, but I'm just saying, and I'm really just trying to be a little more positive as opposed to some of my other videos, which other videos will continue to come out that won't be so super duper positive. But I'm just trying to be as HIV positive as possible to say that, you know, I completely understand wanting to go in a different direction. Dakota, like, you know, best of luck in your future endeavors. Best of luck in your own channel, producing your own content. You know, because that's always best. Because even when you're working for a company, even if you love the company, you love every minute of every day, if you love the content creation, you love the writing, you love the direction the company's going, at the end of the day, that might not be enough.
It's ready to move on to your next car.
And I really appreciate him making this video. Dakota, reach out in the comments, reach out on any of my social medias if you ever want to chat about social media content. I have a podcast, Is It Tired Out Here? If you ever want to come on and talk more about your experience, I'd love to hear you. I'd love to have you on. I'd love to know more of your take on Fitment Industries, or just like car content creation in general, because I feel like I haven't been able to talk to enough people about what this space really means and how we could really grow it and how we could really make it our own. Because in light of a lot of things that have been going on in the world, we all need to find our own little part of the world to call home. And we all need to find our own little ways to make it possible for us to live while being artistic, while being creative, and while doing exactly what we love when we want to do it. And so just like he said, hey, go for a drive. If you feel like negatively commenting on this video, go for a drive first, then leave the negative comment. And I'll see you guys in the next one.